10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Team Archon's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire
We're starting
team
soon.
ban.
Like real soon.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Team Archon's turn to pick.
Enchantress.
Dire team pick.
Vengeful spirit. Morphling.
Team Archon's turn to pick.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ESL One Qualifier. We're jumping into the America division now, with starting with EWolves facing up against Team Archon, and then after this we'll have Complexity facing up against
Archon's
Digital
turn to
Chaos.
bat.
These are the two semifinals to determine who's going to be going into the finals, to determine who's going to be the final team
Dire
left at the
team
very
ban.
end, heading ESL One Manila. Of course, I've got Modpax joining me once again. Modpax, do you have a favorite between these two teams, or are you just here for the ride?
Ooh, I don't know. They're both kind of streaky, you know.
10
Archon, they
seconds
made their
remaining.
way into Shanghai. Since then, not looking
Team
all that
Archon's
hot, but I
turn
mean,
to
a lot of
bat.
people attribute that to the fact that, you know, you accomplished something big. You're not too concerned about this kind of stuff anymore. And EWolves at the same time, they had a streak of like 15 games, I want to say, in a row where they won. But then they got 3-0'd by Complexity at the end of Canada Cup for the final. So it was
10
really
seconds
strange.
remaining.
A lot of people coming in expecting like EWolves actually be favored in that series, and they got
5
crushed. So
seconds remaining.
currently, with the way this draft's playing out, I'm favoring Archon for at least the start of it, and I think they're starting to kind of ramp their way back
Reserve
into Shanghai. So I think they have the advantage coming in.
All right, I'm gonna kind of side with you. I was thinking this series would be close, but I think I was a little bit favored towards Team Archon. Like, in my opinion, I think
Dire
it's gonna be
team
like a
ban.
2 series either way.
Yeah.
Even if it is a 2-0, I think that both games should be fairly close. But I guess we'll see how the rest of this draft plays out. We have Eventual Spirit and Morphling picked up by EWolves, Enchantress and Tusk
10
as a duo
seconds
for Team
remaining.
Archon. Of course, the Enchantress being much higher value,
5
I would
seconds
say,
remaining.
in the North American scene, particularly
Dire
the
team pick.
actual core Enchantress. Though
Mhm.
I'm not necessarily sure if that's what we're seeing here. The set of bands, Batrider and Zeus taken away by EWolves. Omni Knight, one of the counters to Enchantress that we talked about in our last series, and Brewmaster gonna be banned away.
Yeah, this is definitely some NA Dota bans here. It's pretty cool to see. You know, pretty big regional variants going on right now. A lot more priority being
10
put onto that
seconds
Enchantress, of course,
remaining.
as mentioned, and as well as the Omni Knight and the Brewmaster making quite a few showings over in
5
the NA
seconds
region.
remaining.
But pretty interesting way that what the how the draft did play out this time. So Archon came in with that first pick
Reserve
overall,
time.
and with the Chen still in the pool, a lot of the times you're going to be seeing a lot of teams go for that, especially in the EU region. Like they'd have no problem picking up the Chen first, but in the NA region, because of the way that Enchantress is like so prioritized and everything, you can't take Chen and leave Enchantress open for the 2-3 pick because it's going to be picked up. They're going to use it to counter your Chen. Like the way that they play around it, just snag up that creep in those early rotations. I've seen lots of teams get punished by that. So you're kind of forcing this Enchantress pick, but at the same time, it's going to be blocking off the picks going in towards the Chen, obviously on the side of EWolves. So pretty good stuff. And then of course the Morphling, something they've been running a ton for EWolves. It's pretty good up against the Enchantress, offers a very good magic nuke going on later into the game, and that's not something that you get from a lot of cores. Especially in the safe lane position.
And what do you think really pairs well with Morphling when it comes to synergy-wise?
Tinker.
The Void's pretty good. Okay, or we'll just get a Van Tinker. It's always a classic. So this is something you don't get anywhere else, that's for sure. But no, they've been running it quite a bit lately. I think Archon might have seen it coming potentially. Like Tusk is already pretty good for trying to scout him out in the trees. You have the snowball as well. Kind of make your way through the Martian machines is a good way to actually engage upon him, since Clockwork's really like fallen heavily out of the meta. But yeah, they love this. They love the Van Tinker. Probably considered one of the best Tinker players, definitely right now. No one else even picks this hero, honestly. You see it in like Captain's Draft. I think they picked it once for Sumail on EG, I want to say, but I don't know. Like he's a hero that no one wants to value, but when he's not appearing so much in the meta, like it's not this era where we just had Tinker after Tinker. He's definitely someone you have to play around, much like a Broodmother, and I think that can catch a lot of teams off guard.
Yeah, the last time that Team Archon faced up against the Tinker, it was not so long ago, but they did ended up beating it in the BTS America finals. They also had to face Smash's Brewmaster in that series as well, which is one of the reasons they banned that one out, apparently deeming it a bit better. And I would agree. I feel like Brewmaster actually fits this meta better, I would say, and watching Smash's performance on it was quite inspiring. Not sure if it's really going to be seen a lot more from other teams other than EWolves, but I guess we'll have to see. Maybe if EWolves has bigger success Qualifier and maybe going to the international scene with some of it, we'll see some other teams perhaps experimenting with, but for now, like pretty much everyone's got their paws off.
Yeah, they still have two of their big heroes left for EWolves as well. If they wanted to go towards the Beastmaster for Smash, would probably be one of the bigger ones that I'm seeing right now. They love grouping up. It makes a nice little 4-man lineup with the Tinker as well. Helps out with the Morphling early on. And then the other major one that we actually saw first picked all the time for them lately has been the Masoku on his Mirana. It's been all over the place. It's like every single game they were first picking it. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see that, but at the same time, you already have a Morphling and a Tinker, so you might be thinking a little bit more defensive.
Crystal Maiden.
Ooh, that'll help.
Yeah, that'll definitely be with the Morphling Tinker. You already have some pretty good synergy with the Crystal Maiden aura. I would say that
those Enchantress creep too. Like that's the big thing. It's either the Mirana or the Crystal Maiden. Let's see.
Be the last offlaner left in the pool that would really benefit from a CM aura, because Beastmaster and Batrider have already been taken away.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice it was bad. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't notice it at first either, and I was like, I was gonna say Beastmaster, and then
that's why. Yeah, he doesn't really benefit that much anyway, because no one skills the axes anymore, I suppose. But I mean, you still have the Void, honestly. You ran a Crystal Maiden. It's not that bad. Spam as much Time Walk as you want.
That's a little bit too much late game, though.
I mean, up against
Team
Pogna.
Archon have a lineup that is going to be in your face pretty early on with this.
I'm trying to, maybe like just... it's Tidehunter's like okay, but then if the Ravage goes down, it's just like GG. Kind of. I don't know what sort of a D pushing offlaner they can really go for here. Just going back for maybe like if Smash plays Nature's Prophet, I know they usually will just hand it off to Van, and then Smash will go mid with something else. But in this situation, I'm not sure what sort of a Smash hero is remaining.
Yeah, many of the nukers that you're gonna find in the offlane position are not gonna be real strong against Pugna either.
Reserve
You
time.
know,
So
because I was
dark.
actually thinking, I was like, what if you could go back to like the old paint off lane, but then they have a pug now able to work because they need some sort of spam, right? They need some sort of hero that can be on the front line that stops this. Furion is going to be the ban away, and
That makes sense with Morphling and Tinker,
yeah,
honestly.
power and potential early game presence that if Elite Wolves does well enough in the laning phase, and that's going to be one of the big things, they need to do well in the laning phase with these heroes like Tinker and Morphling in order to be in a good enough mid-game position to stop this high ground push from Team Archon. Speaking of Team Archon, since we're out of ideas for Elite Wolves, what about them? Are you thinking like, are you thinking some sort of pushing carry still and run this Pugna as a support?
Turn to pick.
Well, now with the Spirit Breaker, I was just about to say it's either gonna be Spirit Breaker or Undying. Undying would be a lot riskier though. So the Spirit Breaker, no wave clear, but it helps out with the Tinker and the Morphling, so that's okay. Last pick for Archon. They've done support Pugna, I want to say, in the past, so I think that might be the case here. By running this safe lane.
Do a Lycan again. They're not still in the pool as well.
5 seconds.
I feel like you just want to run at them now, so you just get some sort of like an aura support or something, or someone to like an early mech, maybe. I guess Pugna could build the mech.
10 seconds.
Like just a Witch Doctor. You just run at them. Doctor or Dazzle.
5 seconds remaining.
Could be solid. Like just end the game.
I feel like your lineup would be
Or Undying, I suppose.
perhaps a bit too squishy. Undying, I think Undying's pretty nice here. The core Pugna paired up with the Undying. If you're going to run a core Pugna, I think you absolutely had to have a hero that could frontline very easily. And Undying is definitely one of those heroes that can also build into some of the support items that we were talking about. Potentially, you're going to need a mech in this kind of lineup. You might need a pipe as well. And they are going to be running a Moo Enchantress, not terribly surprising. Most likely going to be some sort of aggro dual lane, do you think, with the Undying Tuscan Enchantress? And then leave Jo alone at the bottom lane against what? Like, if it's Spirit Breaker, that's fine.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that actually sounds like totally fine.
Yeah.
Possibly Masoku might end up like coming a little bit, like maybe a little bit aggro, where he shows up in the bottom lane if they leave the Pugna alone. But he's going to be needed top if they have any sort of aggression coming up from moves. So it's looking like these lanes will go well for Archon. Obviously, that's the goal here, as they're going to lose their Pug.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, they're Roshing. They are Roshing.
It's a Roshan strat. Laser, next agility Morphling. They need a tanky hero.
They've got the Bastion. They've got 3 salves on the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, Spirit Breaker's probably one of the highest EHP. I'm just surprised they didn't just like. I guess Ogre Magi would have been like a little bit too obvious, perhaps, if they ran something like that. But
yeah, this is pretty super not obvious. I would not like when I see Tinker, I would not be expecting this right now.
No, I would not be. Okay, all right. I guess we're about to see whether or not Elite Wolves can pull off a level 1 Roshan with Morphling.
Oh man, they don't have the Venture yet.
They need something to be able to. Oh, actually, they use the laser to pop it. Wait, what?
Oh, that was. Wait, what? How did they pop it?
They didn't. They used laser against it.
Hey, but didn't he have the debuff on top of him though?
Oh no. What? Oh, Smat. Wait, what?
Masoku popped at that time with his W, but I don't know what popped at the time.
Can you charge Roshan?
Oh, yeah, he charged it. Okay, yeah.
That makes sense. Cool. All right, level 1 Roshan is going to be taken as long as Smash doesn't.
Look at him salving up during the disarm. That's great, actually.
That is actually really.
Oh man. Well, that's one way to take a late game.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about how, like, they need to make sure their laning phase goes well, blah, blah, blah. Well, this kind of ensures it, right? Get everyone to level 2.5 before the horn blows, and all of a sudden Archon, and this is a, elimination match, a best of 3, determine who's going to go to the finals, are already most definitely on the back foot.
The battle begins.
Wow, I gotta say, that's like tilting too for Archon, right? There's no way maybe you can just shrug it off because there's no way you see this coming. I mean, Vengeful Spirits in every single game, yeah, she used to be kind of one of those ones that maybe would have tipped you off a little bit, be like, oh, they got the aura. But I mean, a Tinker and a Morphling and a Spirit Breaker, I mean, come on. That's rough stuff right there, but
yeah.
Very solid.
Okay, so they're running the aggro tri-lane with the pot, and they're keeping the Enchantress bottom lane, which will be matched up against the Tinker as of right now. EWolves know that their lane at top is going to be dangerous, and looks like they're going to be kind of caught here. Masoku is hit by the Ice Shards. Whitebeard will not be able to hold him long enough to get the kill, it seems, as Masoku should be able to get himself into the trees. And this is going to be maybe not too far. They go for the decay. It's still not quite enough. The charge is actually completed, but he's unfortunately on the wrong side of that one. Fluff and Stuff does pick up the first blood, but now we have two heroes at very low HP underneath the throne. First one goes down. That's going to be Whitebeard. Now Smash is going to try and battle it out with Fluff and Stuff as well. He still has a charge and is going to hold on to that one until Fluff and Stuff gets some distance away. Completes the charge now with a Frostbite on the side, and that will be a 2-for-1 special, even if they did get the first blood.
Yeah, well, bottom lane, like, Van may be level 3, but he's still a Tinker, so this rotation here from Whitebeard.
Yeah,
Look at the body
block
blocks.
him well enough. Turn around, laser, one more hit, but the Fairy Fire goes out. Whitebeard is fully committing here. Has an Ice Shard up in a second. The Centaur will be able to finish him off. The Snowball buys him a little bit of time. Manages to get an Ice Shard block there in as well. That means, oh my god, he's actually going to die here. There's just too many creeps for him to handle. Beautiful play there. That was all due to the fact that he managed to get the last second Snowball and was able to get the Ice Shards as well. So they take away that Aegis nice and early. Still going to be a quick pickup on Mystico for the boots. You know, it would be much easier if their supports were not both starting with M.
I know, and like use the real names would also be really helpful.
Yeah, that would also be nice. But every single time I'm like, is it Soku or Mystico who's M God now?
Yeah, I know. I'm sure they switch it up. I'm sure they just must. Yeah, I feel like it's been the other way before. I'm just gonna assume that's true. So, well.
Moon Meander was quite insulted when I was casting with him for the.
Oh yeah.
Like M God. And then of course Ben and I, or sorry, not Ben, Blitz and I, you know, we're all hanging out here in the studio, and we're like, wait, who do you think is the real M God? He's like, well, clearly me. We're like, no, it's definitely Merlini.
I mean, you gotta stand up for your
M God.
teammates. You gotta stand up for your teammates. So.
I guess so. Fluff and Stuff is sitting in the top lane trying to zone out Smash right now, who is level 4. Pugna roughly the same. The rotation around by Masoku is going to try and catch out the bottom lane. Looks like they're going to try and burst down someone here. It is going to be Moo. He's unable to get off his heel in time. The Snowball goes out and not going to save him though. Van will finish him off with the laser finally, and he still had rockets as well. Back up to the top lane where Smash is still palling around with full Fluff and Stuff. Hero who, you know, can be under-leveled, 2 levels underneath a Spirit Breaker of all heroes, and he still can't battle it out.
Yeah, these are like the weirdest lanes you will ever see in a professional Dota game, but I'm still wondering how this tower has 0 damage on it up top. Like, it's 6 damage, and they need to start pushing into this. Like, it's just smashing a Spirit Breaker. He's getting way too much for free. The bottom lane, it's going awful for your team. Like, you need to be knocking down this tower.
So weird, and I almost feel like Archon, especially with this bottom lane, kind of tilting a bit. Moo's just gotta spend some time in the jungle, it seems like. They're gonna go up to the top lane and do what you were requesting, which is push down this tower. They're gonna have Whitebeard make the initiation, see if they can kill Smash and ensure that this tower does go down. They take away some of that healing cell. Can he get a long-range Ice Shards, or maybe just a Snowball? No, that's not gonna happen. Snowball not fast enough to actually hit Smash. He charges himself away, but at least they forced him out of lane. And maybe they can go back to taking this tower.
Yeah, because the one advantage that you do have is that you have forced out the 2 points into the laser and 1 into the rocks away from Van, so you know that he doesn't have that much split push. Like, you force him to a little bit of a combat role because of the pressure that you put on top of him, so maybe that'll be enough to start securing a couple of these towers. Like, you would think that once they get rolling here, they should just be able to walk into another lane and do, you know, your very typical Pugna strat here.
Whitebeard being charged right now.
Is under attack.
Coach should know what's going on. He's gonna try and put a stop to this tier 1 tower push. The range creep actually spotted him, so Whitebeard knows now that the charge is coming for him. Mystico a little bit too far forward, but Archon not in a good position to be able to capitalize there. If they had a snowball and could have just tombstone underneath the tier 1. Mid lane, Monkeys Forever almost dying here, but will be able to both pop the healing salve as well as get a round of refraction out. Meanwhile, Masoku deep inside the enemy jungle right now. Archon are not going to try and hunt him down. Back up to the top lane. Mystico is going to be caught out. Snowball hits on him. They still have that Orb of Venom slowing him down. The blast is not going to land. The Fairy Fire also going out. Now they could turn on to Whitebeard, actually potentially getting that kill. Good Decrepify there from Jo, but now he's completely out of mana. Can't really continue any more offensive action. That means that they're going to be able to pick up the kill on Whitebeard. Meanwhile, Fluff and Stuff did find the Crystal Main inside the jungle and is able to get that kill with the help of Monkeys Forever.
Yeah, there's Tractor down in between the trees, so it's a pretty nice little play by them, spotting her out. And Masoku's been hanging there for a while, too, like, applying all that pressure on Monkey, so give him a little bit of space, but again, it's all just distractions here. Like, they're going to get Jo up top. It's close.
Yeah, he just gets popped there. The Crepify not saving him one bit as the Magic Missile comes out. Looks like he didn't expect that faster level 6 on Spirit Breaker. Back to middle lane. Jesus, EWolves just runs down Monkeys Forever. And the action just doesn't seem to stop. It seems like the only place the kills aren't anymore is that bottom lane.
Jeez, this is not the lineup you would expect so much aggression from, but, you know, early level 1 Roche, it can kind of tip things, turn the scales a little bit, and they still just cannot get anything done up here. They're not allowing this Pugna strategy to take off whatsoever. I never would have expected this much aggression from the heroes that they have, but they're just running at Archon in all 3 lanes, causing these rotations from the various support heroes. Like, they were so close to getting this tower, then Fluff had to go into the mid lane. You know, Jo can't quite get into position anymore to get down this tower, and every second they're delaying this, it's obviously just more time for Morphling, more time for Tinker.
Try and bait out the Spirit Breaker illusion. It looks like it is successful, and EWolves have the opportunity to jump in as soon as this tombstone is taken care of. Looks like the Morphling illusion helps out when taking down the tombstone, so that's pretty nice. JO's kind of caught right now. They are going to try and go back in, it looks like. The not nearly going to be enough, though. Van's covering their tracks pretty well with the Marching Machines, and even if it is a somewhat under-leveled Marching Machines, it is already level 3, but you don't really know, and it's too tough to push into that anyway, so Jo ends up getting caught. He goes down 3-9 right now as EWolves getting, I mean, they already had control from the get-go with that level 1 Roshan, but they seem to be building on it now.
Yeah, Van, obviously, as discussed many times, one of the best Tinker players. The second the aggression halted bottom, he started holding points, you know? Like, he stopped putting them into anything that he didn't need, and now he can just accomplish whatever his team wants it, when, you know, whatever moment he's actually needed. So now it's their turn to just push down the bottom lane. Archon, they don't have these aura items up that you want, that you need, and Monkeys, he's going to have a little bit of recovery here. This is a really nice Ancient stack for them.
Desperately needs it. Morphling is pretty far ahead of him right now, and that's going to continue if the rest of these tier 1 towers start being taken due to the just Van's control that he's offering the whole entire time. Jo is going to be the target here. Decrepify goes off. This will allow Van to be able to get some extra damage in, or actually it's pure damage, so never mind. It's not enough to actually kill Jo, and because the rest of the team was here anyway, due to the Ancient stack, they will be able to get the kill onto Pastor.
Alright, that's a pretty big pickup, actually, just because Smash, like, he's not the most in terms of the overall net worth, but obviously plenty of levels stacked on top of him, already level 7, so that's going to help out Jo a little bit. He's going to have his ultimate ready to go now. He's almost cracking level 7.
Radiant's middle tower
I don't know, though. You know, you got Treads, you got Bassi up on M-God. He's turning himself into a core with all the space that everyone else is getting, with the Tinker and the Spirit Breaker flying everywhere else around the map. He's like, you know what, I think I'm going to buy some items, guys. And, like, turning him in. How do you kill Van if he gets a blink? Like, honestly. It's basically going to have to be the snowball, but you're still only level 4. You're going to have to be completely grown. He doesn't have level 6 to stop the TP afterwards.
Radiant's middle tower.
Who's being charged right now? He knows it too because of that Seeking Missile. So he's actually going to go out to top lane, and knows that, of course, and he's going to get ahead of this push. Start spamming out Marching the Machines. Jo is trying to get close enough. He's almost going to die practically just to this combination. The snowball is going to go in from behind. They'll catch out Van. The tombstone's a little bit off the mark though, and they do not have any follow-up disables. Tusk not quite level 6. They do have Mystico trapped in this tier 1 tower area, but the Tinker able to come right back is a problem. Moose starts going for the Spirit Breaker, but it looks like Archon are splitting up too much. EWolves going to find the quick kill on a Fluff and Stuff unless he misses that waveform. Looks like he still has the damage for it, though. It's going to be able to run him down. The charge from Smash as well as the Rocket coming in as well. Meanwhile, Masoku's farming up the enemy jungle as calmly as can be for a game that has so much goddamn aggression.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you don't notice, and it possibly one of the reasons this hero's undervalued, but you don't really get to appreciate how much an effect Arcane Aura has. But with how much aggression and how much non-stop fights, like there have been plenty of situations where no one's even going back to base. Like, you're a Space Cow at 10 minutes who has 3 mana regen. I mean, that's insane, right? Like, you can just throw charge after charge, and well, he'll pay for it in the mid lane as well there, so still so far from that level 6.
Toku's setting up the gank there. These aggressive wards are paying off really well now for Elite Wolves, as there just seems to be no reprieve. If every single lane is being defended or even pushed by Van, the jungle's being halfway taken by Masoku, and then it's also being controlled up by these wards, Archon have no reprieve to ever go back and farm up those next set of items, and they're rapidly becoming more and more under levels as time goes on. Smash runs into Moo on his way to charging the Jo Pugna, but doesn't really care too much.
Surprised they didn't commit for that. I thought they were going to like Nether Strike, swap, stun, Tinker, 3 points into the laser. Like, what level? I mean, Moo's only level 8. He's only got 800 HP. I guess they were just maybe not too confident. Like, they have all this aggression, so yeah, it makes sense. With all that vision, they don't see anyone, so at least assuming he had backup.
I like this.
Oh, man. That Melt Strike.
Yeah,
DD.
Swap back. Monkeys is going to be caught. Jesus. Just doesn't stop. I was thinking about it. I guess Crystal Maiden, in a way, works really well with Tinker. Right? Because you're able to jungle and stack at the same time. You're not eliminating that much farm from the Tinker while still keeping up your own golden levels.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Never thought about
that. Yeah, it's true. It's pretty nice because he takes care of all the little creeps as well. It's kind of like Gyrocopter in that way.
Joker's going to go down. Mystico might be up next. The Walrus Punch is going to stop him from retreating, but Smash comes in with a charge and actually bumps a couple of those heroes, stopping those critical auto attacks. Ewo is going to go for the waveform on Fluff and Stuff to get that kill, and Smash is going to keep on going. Whitebeard makes sure to block Smash in. He's looking for the vision of some sort of charge, but Whitebeard is going to be able to get away, it seems.
What a timely haste turn. Mystico can like pretty much pick up his own set of drums, honestly, at this point. Unless he wants to go. Yeah, he'll actually definitely be going drums. Having the treads already, so probably no Aether Lens or anything. And that Blink Dagger, man. Poor monkeys. Alright, friends are here.
Brown starts going for Smash. Smash has a charge away though, and it'll be an easy jump. Blue drops pretty low underneath all this March of the Machines. And, I mean, they just do not have enough solid initiation to really be able to go into these fights. Like, they got to have instant initiation, you know, jump hero, blow it up. But that's not going to happen until they have Blink Dagger on TA. Right now, the Tusk just takes too long and doesn't bring enough power to these jumps. It means the Marks and Machines is just destroying the monkeys forever, as you can see, almost just dying to this combination outright. Whitebeard is going to be able to dodge for a bit longer. Snowball goes out, will be able to hit on 2, allowing the kill onto the Vengeful Spirit. Ewo's a bit confused where to go. He actually goes for the Tusk and will be able to pick up Fluff and Stuff as well. Back over to the Tombstone. This Pugna Ward's doing some work, actually managed to kill the Morphling. Smash is going to charge up Monkeys Forever. He's going to fight it out. Might be able to win it too. He has a refraction. Oh, the charge comes out, but it's still not enough. He gets a lucky bash, but Monkeys Forever gets off the refraction. The fight's going well until, oh god, Van comes in, gets a double, make it a triple now. Nope, Crystal Main takes it with a frostbite, but still, Van coming back into the fight with perfect time, boots of travel, and Archon, I'm sure, that was the fight that had to go well for them to somewhat look turning this game around, and now that it hasn't, I'm sure they're really thinking about how much longer they need to endure this abuse before they can respectfully call GG.
Yeah, it's not often you say that when you've only lost 1 tower, but this is looking rough. Like, Mystico, he's sitting on this Ogre Club, and I'm kind of thinking, what would they do? Like, imagine if he goes for, let's say, like a Halberd or something like that. Like, what on earth are they going to do? TA is the only hope they have. I don't know if it's going to be like a Clowny Dragon Lance here. Maybe that'll be the item choice.
Whitebeard's caught. Swap back in as the Tinker charges. Really nice ice shards by him, but that's unfortunately still not enough. This team's just a bit too big. Fluff and stuff. He dropped the Undying Tombstone, and it's getting on a smash right now. Moon's going to come forward. Don't think he has nearly enough damage to actually get the kill, though. Even Mystico bravely posturing himself there against the Enchantress, not afraid, apparently. Yes,
Yeah, they've been doing
a really farm Tinker.
Yeah, the one thing about it though is like EWolves have this big lead, but they're also not really overextending. Like there's only been like I would say one really big overextension by Smash so far, like right there, like canceling that charge and everything like that. They're being careful not to throw away this advantage because they understand what can happen. Oh, a big ulti from Soku down bottom.
Yeah, he knows he's caught. The only hope is he gets buffed, but he does. Makes the trade somewhat worth it, drawing so many heroes of Archon into one position for a 1-for-1 trade. They've taken the tier 1 tower and they're farming away at top lane as well. And the reason that perhaps if you're not really understanding why EWolves, why they're so favored right now in this game, even if they are only 4 or 5k up, it's just the fact that they've got the better late game lineup, and this lineup's just going to get worse and worse. Is they have Archon really have nothing to be able to deal with a Morphling and a Tinker who have picked up so much early on.
Yeah, like honestly, what's your win condition here? It's like Van En like drops his items or something. I don't know. He's already got the Dagon. He's got the Blink. If he maybe doesn't, like, imagine he just buys a sheep. What are they gonna do? Monkeys is the only fight they have, and short of him getting Blink, Deso, Rapier, that's essentially the game here. I don't really know what you can possibly hope here. They're gonna have a Dragonlance done for Moon now, so maybe a bit more fighting power. Maybe they can fight around the buildings, but eventually Van's just gonna be splitting the map too much. I don't know what they're gonna have to catch him out.
Yeah, they're gonna have some really sick like smoke plays or something. I don't know. They're gonna go for the top tier 1 tower with Ewo. Not quite max agility, but a decent amount, and Van always making sure to provide the covering fire there with March of the Machines, and of course the missiles helps out too. They can very easily aggressively chip down these towers without fear of initiation from Archon. And
oh yeah, I forgot you can take the Morphling illusion. It's kind of funny.
The what?
I forgot you can enchant the Morphling illusion. It's like the Vengeful Spirit one. If you like buy eggs.
Oh yeah.
Okay, head to the fountain. There you go. I'm expecting. I would actually expect Evo to like hop into that right now and then like TP home. That's the kind of stuff he likes to do.
Next Roshan. The Wolves not wasting much time in taking Roshan number 2. To do it before the 20-minute marker. This was really one of the best ways for Archon to find themselves a decent fight, was catching EWolves in the middle of doing Rosh, but by the time they get here, Roshan's already dead, and while they may catch some heroes...
Tinker's gone?
Yes, it is going to be able to stop the Vengeful Spirit from TPing out, but Ewo, he's already picked up the Aegis and has gone full strength now. Van comes back in, blows up one, and is waiting for his opportunity to blow up another. They're going to try and go for Ewo here, but this is only going to leave opportunities for Van to kill the back line. Yeah, he gets fluff and stuff. Is thinking about going for Jayo. He has to go back home first. Meanwhile, Smash is going to charge down Monkeys forever. Has the ultimate too. That makes it even better. They can pop him immediately. 3 down, a 4th perhaps in tow. Smash is looking for that charge somewhere, especially with Jayo so low, but they've got no more aggressive vision on those fronts, so they just content themselves with more control. Still keeping the Aegis in hand.
I mean, it's 19 minutes and you have a Dagon.
Gonna get this one? Yeah, he's got it. He's got the vision. Okay, the charge comes through. Van's gonna be able to TP out. Ewo will be able to get the kill instead, and now Whitebeard. Gotta be careful. He's gotta back himself away. Van's gonna go for Dagons and down. Fluff and stuff throws out the Tombstone, but Van's already managed to get the refresh on his Blink Dagger and jumps away. Fluff and stuff is going to die next. And Jayo, well, he starts healing him up. Fluff and stuff might be able to turn things around. There goes the Aegis finally. But this is going to be Morphling who will just waveform away and start morphing up to strength.
Yeah, Van's here.
Yeah, Van comes back in, throws down the artillery, will be able to take out Fluff and stuff in the background, and also lasers up Monkeys Forever, so he won't be able to do much more damage to Ewo. Another waveform coming up. I think he's just baiting this one out. He's going to move to the left-hand side where Smash is coming in. Not sure why he chose that direction, but the charge on through, hits Jo. Bumps back Monkeys Forever. Van's come forward, takes out the Pugna. Smash almost dying. Is going to go down to Moo, but Van will be able to complete his TP out. And Masoku ups the drums, doesn't have a TP out. Looks like he's going to look for a place to hide himself when he goes for the freezing field. This corner, of course, one of the best. And Monkeys Forever is just going to man right up with the refraction, but the refraction's now down with Van here. Maybe he might actually be able to get the kill. Nope, another round of refraction comes in, and Van's just going to have to spam out.
Yeah, it's so not worth him dying here for one more kill. He just needs to be really cautious. Can't risk being stunned up, of course. Now you're going to have Snowball, you're going to have Walrus Punch. And you know, it's a little bit of a win coming off the very end there for Archon, but obviously, EWolves got quite a few great picks during that whole scenario. And, like, what are you going to do about, like, Evo? You did finally get him, I suppose, you know? He's going to have a Manta style up and running here soon, but you have to put so many of your resources into actually getting Van that you still have a Morphling on the map.
Is going to spot out Van here, but unfortunately, it's just so tough to actually catch him because he's always going to rearm and immediately blink himself away. The charge being completed here onto Moo. There's 4 heroes, but it doesn't seem to matter. They're still going to try and blow up Jo first. They do get him. And now they're going to get Moo secondary. The heal starts going out. They don't quite have enough, it seems like. Moo's going to be able to survive. And, well, Ewo's now a bit too far forward. He may actually go down. He's lacking mana. Smash on the side. Also going to get taken out. Oh, they actually caught Van. That's a big one. Moo's going to be able to get Smash as well. Forget about the Morphling. They took down the Tinker. That's an important one. Masoku pops his smoke. Will be able to get to the trees on the side, even if the smoke doesn't last. They do not get the reveal with the trap. Monkeys Forever is going to check anyway. If he throws the trap in the right area, though, he may still find himself a kill. They presume he just TP'd out. Problem is, every single time they get one of these fights, they're just not going to be able to claim that much map control unless they kill the Tinker, which is going to be a rarity.
Wow, that is... I was not expecting BKB when he picked up that Overclub first, I have to say.
Yeah, you thought maybe like a Dragonlance or something like that?
Yeah, I was thinking like, first I thought Drums of the Bracer, but then Dragonlance, even a Halberd or something for Monkeys, because you know that BKB is going to be so long and he's their only main source of damage, but very interesting. Obviously still great in the total core perspective, not really going to be falling off this game at all, up against, 5 seconds will be plenty fine, up against Jo throughout the entirety of the game, who also has his own Aether Lens now, but I gotta say, I think EWolves are committing to too many fights right now. You have a Morphling, you have a Tinker. Like, I can understand wanting to apply some pressure, but they're just running into kills, and they're trading relatively evenly at this point, and you can see that in the graph. Like, the kills, sometimes it's even favoring EWolves, maybe like 4-3 or something, but with total net, net worth advantage they have, we're climbing close back to 0. Look at the EXP, it's only around 5k now.
Yeah, this is really elite Wolves just playing a bit too cocky. Whitebeard might be blown up here. The waveform comes forward, and Pugna just cannot provide the healing save in time. Charge. Smash is going to cancel that one out. Talking about how elite Wolves earlier in the game, it seems like once they got themselves like a really healthy, almost like unlosable lead with this kind of composition, they're like, okay, we could play, a little bit more undisciplined and a lot more aggressive. Because you were right, in the beginning of this kind of fighting center, they weren't being overly aggressive. They were just playing it kind of right. Fluff and stuff is going to be caught by the swap back there in Mystico. And again, Archon can't.
Radiant's middle tower.
And yeah, they are getting the pickoff. And yeah, exactly that. Like, they're starting to not be quite as held back here. Because look at top lane. Like, you're a Tinker. And this whole wave's now going to be pushing in. I guess he's not even heading there. He's just fighting. Whereas you can be taking so much map control right now. There's just so much free farm everywhere for him. But they're continuing to just kind of duke it out and fight and give Archon a chance. Whereas I feel like you don't even have to give them this option. Like, I feel like the burden should be on the side of Archon to try and engage into you.
Yep. Van wants to make the most of his Dagon. And Archon will have the opportunity to strike back. They smoked up earlier. It looks like they're going to try and catch Masoku, but won't be able to find him, and their smoke's going to run out soon. Be pretty unfortunate. Oh, charge on through. Catch Smash. Oh, never mind. They got the Walrus Punch. They have the Ice Shards as well to block him out. But Smash should be able to survive. 2 more seconds. He's got a charge unless the Enchantress is able to finish off a couple more of those Impetus shots. That's not the case. 16 to 32. 25 minutes in. 7,500 gold lead remains for EWolves. And about the same, roughly, in experience.
I feel like it should be almost double that, honestly, at this point. Like, with the way they've held the control, in fact, yeah, I completely think it should be about double on both accounts in terms of total EXP and gold lead right now. Like, they just don't have the lineup to deal with you if you split push the map right now. But, like Smash, they're just coming in again. It's 4 heroes are here.
Still have BKB for Mystico. Oh, God. Bad pure damage plus the physical damage out from the Templar Assassin was not for him. Ewo is pushing out the top lane and he's working toward his Scotty, but sort of pickoffs will start again, grinding away at the net worth lead that the EWolves were holding before.
There's definitely some big items that have to come out from Archon, though, to still, like, eventually turn this around. Like, it looks like Whitebeard is probably going to be building up a pipe here just because up against the Tinker. Pretty solid item. And you're probably going to need a Scythe out here from Moon next. Like, I know we kind of like the Blink Dagger or the BKB. Maybe BKB first, but they really need something to deal with this Morphling and this Tinker. And it feels like Scythe's really the only option here. You don't really have, like, an Abyssal Blade carry or anything like that for Monkeys. He needs his BKB too badly.
Right.
And they did not draft stuns. It's just Whitebeard.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Well, next
attack.
Roshan will be probably the big thing here. Really early spawn. EWolves should have another big handle on it. Again, though, if Fluff can get in there early enough, if they spot it out, get that good placed tombstone, maybe it's something that they can actually take a fight at that objective with that artillery cannon that Moo is now.
Losing, it's so hard at this point in time with this kind of lineup to stop Morphling and Tinker rushes.
Yeah, like, they're actually doing it now, you know what I mean? Like, this is the play. Like,
Yeah.
patient sieges, splitting the full map, you've got the TA up top. Evo's sticking around close enough that he can make sure the Monkeys can't TP.
Yeah, half the time the supports on EWolves can be jungling, the other half they can see if there's going to be some sort of pick-off opportunity, but just the Morphling and the Tinker who can control the side lanes and keep them pushed and always be kind of keeping Archon on their toes defending.
Alright, so Courier's going to spot Roshan, so now both teams will be aware, because they do have the TA trap there. Maybe they can try to smoke up play. They're kind of hanging around there. Gonna keep an eye out. These TA traps are pretty handy, you know, spawning out these rotations here. But again, it's such an uphill battle here for them right now. They're close to that BKB on Monkeys, and that really could be the item that turns it around, honestly. Like, if he just gets out of control with that 10-second BKB, they might be able to get a fight, you know, one big pick off that massive bounty that's going to be on top of Van thanks to the Dagon build and all the kills he's getting because of it.
Unless there's an Aegis on EWolves, in which case Archon may not be able to fight, but let's see. They might not be able to get that one. Mystico's going to be forced away immediately as Musto shows himself. The snowball actually stopping Smash in his tracks, pops the BKB, but it's a bit too late. And now this is Archon's best opportunity to take Roshan for themselves quickly before the Tinker can actually start laying down that march in the machines. The Aegis and Cheese is out. Cheese still on the ground, but it looks like Archon should be able to get both here. So a big win there for Archon, coupled with the inevitable BKB for Monkeys Forever. They've actually got a pretty good chance of just being able to march down the middle lane. Oh, what? Ewo, very poor management there, ends up losing his life to a Pugna Enchantress combo. That should just never happen.
I wonder if he forgot about the mana degen.
No idea.
It's pretty brutal. Like, max level, it is -6 in total there. So it could have been that, but no, I didn't catch that one. Pretty humongous misplay by EWolves. So the fact they didn't deward, they had no sentry or gem available to them at the Roshan pit up against TA. So you gave them full vision of the entire situation. Which, I mean, you just can't do that. That's the only way they come back into this game.
Yeah. I still think Elite Wolves will take this game, but you know what this game has done? It's actually more solidified my prediction of Archon winning the series. Like, even with Elite Wolves taking this game, it's just so sloppy.
Yeah.
They had such a big lead.
And there's still 3 tier 2s.
Radiant's
Yeah.
bottom
Like, how's that even
tower-
possible, right?
Radiant's bottom
Alright, there
tower
goes one
has
of them.
fallen.
Hater's curse. Creep
Yeah,
take
now-
out the bottom tier.
It happens to towers too, right? Yeah. Well, what can you do? At least they'll have a gem this time on Masoku.
What a weird game.
Really is. Van's finally getting a scythe. That's definitely the item here. Just gonna be able to deal with monkeys. I'll have the Aegis for one of them at the very least. And let's see. If they were to just run at them, do they have the pipe yet? Let's say Whitebeard hasn't quite. Maybe he's not sure. Like, maybe I'm just gonna get a Glimmer Cape because I can afford it. But I feel like they don't really need the pipe until they're actually trying to get an objective, I suppose. But then again, during the scrappy team fights, it might not be the worst. Uh-oh, Whitebeard.
And I'm not sure how much longer they can. You've got to start going for objectives like right now, and I'm not sure if there's going to be much of a time difference between when Archon, pretty much finally got control of the game, which was taking Roshan for themselves, getting some critical pickoffs, and them taking some map control to going uphill. Like, it feels like it's going to have to be now or never. They go from 5-manning down the bottom lane, take tier 1, tier 2, 5-man down the middle, take that tier 2 as well, and you got to go uphill fast because, again, do not like your chances whatsoever late game against current Morphling.
No, not in the slightest. And they do have this blade mail on Fluff, which is actually, obviously a sick item against Tinker. I wouldn't mind to see one being built on Whitebeard as well. Like, that's kind of one of those items that we've seen used a pretty great effect. It caused the Tinker to have to stop his spam. Now, he does have the max Dagon build, so it's not going to be as effective as against a lot of Tinkers, where maybe they went for like a Scythe Bloodstone kind of a build first and not having that Dagon for the little bit of extra burst. But very solid here. Pretty good against the Morphling, obviously. Good against quite a few AoE abilities here in total from EWolves. But yeah, it's time, man. You're at a disadvantage, obviously. We know that, EWolves know that, but it doesn't matter. You still have to push in. You have to rely on the fact that, you're a team. You're going to Shanghai. Come on, you gotta, bring it all together. Cast your spells, use them in the right order, and win a team fight. How hard is that?
Hey, maybe miracles. Tinker's so far ahead in network.
I wonder if I'll
going
see.
Scythe or
I was initially thinking Scythe because of Moo. Yeah, I'm still gonna. I think Scythe makes the most sense.
I think Scythe makes the most sense, but somehow I feel like Van's gonna play like the Shiva's route.
Yeah, he likes his nuking power. He likes the fancy, big glowing, like blink, snow globe kind of a thing. I can see either being fine, honestly. Obviously, the Shiva's is pretty massive against the TA, so although you're not scything her, you're helping to bring down the overall damage he's going to be doing to your team. Slow the attack speed. Pretty good against the Enchantress as well in the exact same capacity, who he is building towards that scythe. Still a ways away, but obviously being this far behind, it's gonna be a little bit tougher. But Monkeys and Moo are sitting right up there with Ewo, which should just not be possible in the slightest. Like, there's just no way that should be the case right now. I don't even understand how that's the case. I'm so confused. Like, you had so much map control. You had level 1 Roche. It's just like, no way that should be possible.
Yeah.
It's like totally inexcusable. I cannot stress how inexcusable it is.
Yeah, Ewo is he has just not been playing very lately. Like, he's just been kind of, I swear to God, he's been playing with the same kind of
Swag, like the unknown swag.
Confidence,
Yeah.
swag, pizzazz, whatever you want to call it, that Infamous are so infamously known for. Like, it's just like doing the most, like, trying to max min to like stupid levels of efficiency, trying to play so far forward that he ends up getting caught or play towards the very edge of things. Like, I gotta stick around until I can get this run forward. Like, he's taking damage. I watched the last series that I watched Ewo play. He was playing Morphling, and I would watch him be like 200 HP, and he would run forward into the like enemy offlane or whatever, And
While
go down to,
salving,
like,
right?
Yeah, he would go down to like 50 HP or something just so he can waveform backwards and also hit the offlaner at the same time, as well as all the creeps. And it was just like, Jesus, like, whoa.
Yeah, I was watching that, and then he salved up when he got back in the wave from it. Then he walked back and forth the offlaner and got to cancel it after like 200 HP.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, dude, what are you doing? That was the move, the Mooncast, I think.
Yeah, that was. Is Smash going? Where's Smash going?
Oh, I mean, you're looking at it, buddy. I assume it's gotta be. It's gotta be the eggs, right? Like, what else?
The
would you
eggs?
consider-
Is it Octarine? No, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, all those items seem about
Dire's
the
middle
same
tower is under attack.
in my head. Like, all of them I could see kind of being okay. Like, what's wrong with Sheep? Like, Shivas is always kind of a good item. So, you know, okay, just a good stat item. You got a slow Octarine. You lower down your cooldown of charge and Nether Strike. Like, if you have Octarine, you probably ensure that you have 2 charges in every fight, right? Because it'll go from 12 seconds to 9 seconds. Yeah, 9 seconds.
Yeah. There's got to be better items though, right? Like,
Yeah.
get the halberd
Your
or
Nether Strike would go down to 45 seconds. And then there's the Axe. The Axe, which lowers your cooldown to 20 seconds, just your ultimate. And it does some weird AoE thing, which I'm pretty sure it's never been useful in the history of Dota.
maybe the cooldown is worth it in this game though.
Yeah. I think, for me, in my head, it's like Axe first, Scotty second, and Octarine third. As being, like, from the scale of, like, useful...
Yeah, useful
or
point
somewhat
booster
useful
items.
to least useful.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah, it's a little unusual not to see, you know, S and Y. Or even the Glimmer Cape has been
Or
pretty
you
popular.
know, what about I really gotta aim. Is Silver Edge? What about Silver Edge against
Oh, yeah.
Enchantress?
Yeah, that's definitely the item. There's like no question.
That sounds pretty good to me, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, it's
Yeah.
pretty standard. It's really stat efficient for a hero like Spirit Breaker. You have an amazing break hero.
Yeah.
Okay, Jo.
That's rough, but I mean, I guess no choice really. Too scared, doesn't want to die.
Not sure if he expected like all of a sudden Tinker to blink out of nowhere and tag it in. Or...
This is such a weird game. So they're not gonna get anything out of that Aegis. They've got the crit now on Monkey, so like, you know, maybe this is the item up against Evil. Like, you're looking towards its control, it's gonna have to be the sight from the Enchantress, but with the way he's min-maxing every single play, mostly like minning, I guess. I don't know, but like one round misstep into a crit, I feel like that could actually completely catch him off guard with the way he's been playing.
Yeah.
They need, like, what do you get? Someone needs like a blink. I don't even know, like a EWolves or something from Jo. You need something to catch out this Tinker, even if that's as simple as it's gonna be like blink EWolves or something on a Pugna.
And he's gonna go Axe next.
Oh yeah.
I don't agree with it, but feels like people are just building the items that they want to build, and not necessarily like the items for this game.
At least the scythe, I completely agree with Moo on the scythe, like not going for BKB or blink. I'm glad to see that. That's definitely what they
I
need.
agree.
It's like the best item pickup so far this game, honestly, with this Agnum Scepter Cow coming out. And Diffusal Blade Venge. Alright, I've seen it all. Why, like, what? For like, the decrep, I guess? But, I mean, is that even that good?
Pretty sure it's to take prep. And I mean, the stats for Diffusal Blade are not bad. I think it's probably one of, like, if you're going to look at heroes that can just casually pick up Diffusal Blade as purely a stat item, Vengeful Spirit is probably one of them. He's already tanky, so just raw agility is fine.
Is under attack.
That's kind of
Plus, no BKB as well, because you've got a Morphling. Doesn't really want to go for that item, so that's a little bit understandable. Try and help him out a little bit. And you can't go with the Agnum Scepter, so that makes sense too.
punch. Evo is going to jump forward anyway, go for Jo, try and get that kill, and will be able to with the help of Van. Taking about Whitebeard, but jumps himself away, and Tink will also get out. And that was pretty anticlimactic. That the way that Archon like took the Roshan control, and it was like, my God, they finally have control of the map, and then it's just like, that's the thing. It always will be this way against a Tinker and Morphling. The longer you wait, the more control just slips through your fingers like sand. Like they all of a sudden were like 5-man mid. What was it, like a minute and a half ago? They were like 5-manning mid. I was like, oh my God, are they actually gonna go uphill without Aegis? And it was like one March of the Machine showed itself in middle lane. It was like, oh, that's it, guys. The end of that one.
Yeah, they're like, you can see they're starting to roam now with Whitebeard and Moo because they know their only play is like Blink, Walrus Punch, Scythe or something, but it just goes down here. This will be heading on over to the side of EWolves, and now it's their turn to probably just clear up this last tower. It's already extremely low. EWolves been kind of chipping away at it a little bit with his illusions. I wonder if this will be enough to end it. Get themselves some cheese too. I think they still have cheese on Moo. Yeah, they do. So that's pretty useful for these fights at least. But
got really good high ground on Archon.
Yeah, Pugnet's pretty hard to fight into.
Enchantress is hard to push into. You've got two different, what do you want to call it? Like totem abilities in the Tombstone and Pugna Ward.
Yeah, it's one of those. That's a nice little combo. It's kind of like the Jakiro, the Pugna, the Undying. That little trio, mix and match there, just between like the slows and obviously Decrep and Tombstone work so well together. I don't know what you call them, little architects, I guess.
Where's the mass blade mail strat? I see one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You know, get the pipe on somebody, get the blade mails everybody else, and let's go. It's like, it's the choice here. It's definitely, you know, it's gonna be hard. They still have a tier 1 down bottom for, jeez.
Time to go in. Fluff and Stuff does what he can with his blade mail, drops a Tombstone, and there goes the push. Push has been defeated. And Tombstone gold given to Ewo. 100 gold, man. That's not shabby.
Yeah, especially with a Morphling that's much further behind than you would expect here. But he's got his Aegis. He's baiting a little bit here. Alright, they get some pretty solid position. They're trying to like lure them in deeper here. But the only problem is no one's showing. So, like, the EWolves know something's up, right? They're gonna know something is amiss. Their positioning is really not that defensive for a smoke. Oh, this might be it.
Oh, they have the ward there. Fluff and Stuff's gonna be caught.
Oops. How did that ping the Spearbreaker? Alright, well, my bad.
Now, time for Archon to backdoor this creep wave. Moo trying to make his way out. He'll be caught as well.
Two little piggies.
I don't even know what to say about this series, to be honest.
I mean, there's just, it's kind of scrappy. It's a little bit clowny. It's not exactly clean. I don't know if it's just, seems like it's not a very usual strat. It's certainly not the usual stuff in the patch. Like, there's no concise objectives here. Like, even at the end of the draft, I kind of look at these teams and like, well, Archon need to push, but if you don't get that push, then your lineup just kind of is like, what are we? And then this happens. Oh man, you will.
Well, almost goes down there. And there goes the BKB from Monkeys.
Alright, this is some Dota.
Now, slowly but surely, EWolves will chip away at those objectives for the next 2 minutes. EWolves still has its Aegis. They still... Where's Airbreaker? Still has his cheat.
And a Magnum Scepter, alright. This is your base breaking ability. This is the AoE they needed. Casual Scythe thrown on the Monkeys. This man doing his stuff. Got his Manta style now done. There's your base breaking item.
You gotta get a Blink Dagger from...
Yeah. That's the thing, like, you can't even go for a BKB either. He has to like commit to this Blink instead, just to try and get some sort of a Scythe on somebody. And there's surprisingly no Lincoln Spear on Ewo. Wouldn't be the worst item. I guess he went for the BKB instead, which is understandable, but with like, it would have been a pretty good Lincoln Spear game, honestly, because you would have known it would only be Scythe. There's nothing else to even break it.
The thing is that Lincoln's triggers automatically. Wo needs to be able to show that he can press buttons.
It's a good point.
Get saved by Jo. I mean, we'll be saved. Fluff and stuff also gives him the extra heal. Ron could start coming in, but that's not going to be enough. Ewo! He'll lose its Aegis now, but he get the swap back onto Monkeys forever. He has the BKB, will pop it in the last second, but he may still die. Yeah, Ewo's going to be able to pick up that kill. Moo's going to go down as well. The charge right on through on 3 as Smash is able to pop that first Aegis ultimate. He's going to be able to knock back the Pugna. They just run over Archon inside of the base. There is no buyback left, and Jo will die back. So that's it. It'll all end with a triple kill on Van, and Archon will call it. Good game. Well played.
What a weird game.
Radiant's bottom is falling.
Like, why did Van buy a Manta? Like, honestly, I feel like this would have been one of those games you could actually go for an Aghanim Scepter or something on Tinker, not this old school Manta build. I don't know. The items were just everywhere.
Yeah, that was not the most impressive game number 1 on. I mean, honestly, I can't blame Archon too much.
No, they got level 1 Roche. Like,
yeah, they got level 1 roached, and they were trying to fight back from there. You could say that some of their like 5 to 15 minute execution like wasn't the greatest. Like they didn't plan on some of these other